Okay.
What have you seen from that Cal defense?
Well, you know, I worked with Art for 8 years, 7, 8 years at Ole Miss. Aggressive, you know, obviously not the same group as last year. You know, play aggressive, run to the football good. They really, you know, they're gonna, he likes to get guys running the line of scrimmage, running the football. So plays a lot of guys. So you know, it kind of mixes things up on you. But you know, like every week for us, everything's a challenge.
What did you take from what Washington did to them?
They did a nice job on them. You know, they ran the ball well on them, I thought. Hit some big plays on them. I don't know. You know, it's offense. It's like to me every week it's the same. It's all about if you actually, you know, everybody puts in game plans, right? They're supposed to be good against it. Now some work, some don't. Okay, but it always comes down to about us. You know, it's about the offense, about executing, guys getting their hats in the right spot. You know, quarterback making right reads. You know, those type of things, and that's what I think Washington did a good job of. I thought they were very efficient that day. You know, and they converted third downs. You know, they stayed on the field.
So you've heard of game plans that work then, or is this just a rumor?
I just saw that yesterday. I didn't know that was really supposed to happen.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I was reading something. Yes, I was reading somewhere, and it said that sometimes game plans are supposed to work.
Right.
What have you seen from how Cal does in the pass rush?
On what?
In their pass rush?
Bull rush, physical guys. Now, I've known Sonny. I've known. As you read, all right, since he was, which I'm kind of pissed because he says he's known me since 3rd grade. Well, he was a little bit older than that. But his dad was the defensive coordinator when I was playing in college. So I've known Sonny since he probably was in 3rd grade. And I tell you, they've done a heck. I mean, every place he's gone, he's done a really, you know, he's at Kentucky and then he's at Louisiana Tech, and every place he's gone, he's built good programs. And I know that. I know that's what he's doing up there, and he's starting to recruit the kind of guys he wants to be in his program and run the type of defense he wants. And that's what I see. He's got some size up there. They're physical kids. They press the pocket, you know. They try to keep, you know, obviously I hope that, you know, I'm probably thinking they're going to try to keep Brett in the pocket and challenge our offensive line like everybody does.
How old was he in the 3rd grade? You said he was older.
Well, you know, Sonny, they held Sonny back 4 or 5 times, so he might have been 12.
12?
Yeah.
Have you kept in touch with him over the years or run into him?
Yeah, I mean, I run into him all the time and say, in fact, last time I saw him, he was at I ran into him on the street in Manhattan Beach this last summer. So, but no, I've known Sonny for a long time, him and his dad and his family. Great, his dad's a stud. Spike Dykes was awesome, and just a great family, good football coaches.
How much of a difference can you see in Cal this year compared to the Cal team last year that won, one game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're very explosive on offense. I mean, I've known Tony for a long time too. He's, he does do game plans to work. Yeah. But I've known Tony. They do a great job offensively of moving the football and scoring points. And now his defense, I think the defense from last year to this year is just, is going the direction that you want it to go when you're building a program.
You said keeping Brett in the pocket. Are the things you guys did against Oregon that kind of freed up the passing and running lanes, are those the same type of things that could be effective this week?
Why would I want to do them again if they worked last week?
That's what I'm asking.
Yes. I mean, that's something different defense, but no, we've been moving him, moving him a little bit out of the pocket, some in our running game. He's done a better job of, some of his keys in that of getting himself, outside the pocket, because of what the defense is doing to him. But yeah, there's some things, it's a little late, but some things kind of starting to come together.
Outside the pocket, good in this offense? Is it set up that way?
It's not really built that way, but it's kind of it's like the it's like a change-up pitch that you would like to have in your repertoire. It's fastball, pretty soon. So you gotta have something a little bit different. And plus, he's good on the move and he can throw the ball on the move.
I'm going to remind you again, like last week, that this is football, not baseball. Fastball. Probably not going to be an effective thing now.
Okay. Wait, let me take a minute.
Yeah, please do.
Don't use fastball. Okay.
How do you think Brett handled the read options seemed like you guys went to that a little bit more this past week against Oregon than you had in the past.
I thought he did a nice job. You know, I thought Paul did a nice job with it. I tell you who did a nice job with it was the O-line. You know, the O-line is, you know, they're starting to, you know, come together a little bit. Connor went in there and did a really good job at tackling for us. You know, Kenny Lacey and then Scott and Caleb and all those kids. You know, now they're starting to get games under their belt. They're starting to feel more comfortable with what we're doing. So, you know, Brett and the backs, I mean, that's kind of built into them. You know, that's what they're supposed to do. They've been doing it a while. I think that young group of offensive linemen are starting to really feel more comfortable with what we're doing.
Have you been leery to go to that in the past with Brett, you know, just running up the middle like that in terms of the read option, or is that something that, you know, you've always kind of had it in the game plan and it just worked out well?
Well, we kind of had it, and it's like everything, you know, you kind of throw some stuff out on the table, you know, in the course of the first part of a game, you know, so then you say, okay, this is giving them issues, and you know, and this is probably maybe good or bad, I don't know, but I like if something's working, I run it until they show that they can stop it, you know, make them adjust. And then if you saw in the second half, you know, our zone stuff started working a little bit better because of, you know, what Brett had done, you know, with our power read stuff in the first half. So, you know, it felt good that the kids in the offense started feeling like, okay, that's how it's supposed to work. You know, you run something, they start taking away. Okay, where's your counter punch on it?
With Paul doing so well, do you run Brett less? I know he had his career high in carries last week. Is that something where you try to dial that down in the weeks going forward?
I don't know. I just think it's kind of like how it plays out. You know, I mean, obviously you guys were, you know, I mean, last week, you know, it was 10 sacks. And like, how do you how do you protect? You know, that's, you know, that situation. Oh, that's one of the situations is, you know, Brett's got to, you know, take on some of that part of getting out of the pocket, running the football, which takes pressure off our offensive line.
With a lot of success on those 3 straight runs last week, that could be a little blueprint for how you use them a little bit differently on running back going forward?
No, I mean, we've always gone, you had the blueprint. Did you like that? How wide those light splits? I mean,
That was fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's always a package in every week for Miles, and some of it depends on how much, you know, in the course of the game, you know, how tired is he from, you know, playing defense, and then, you know, that situation comes on offense, so it's kind of a tricky deal. But yeah, we always have a package in for Miles and Eddie and, you know, all those guys in there. And yeah, in retrospect, you always look back and maybe I should use it more or less. Yeah, but I do that with a lot of plays. Yeah, you're getting right.
Question is, when do you use the zone read with Eddie? You got Eddie and Brett running the zone read? I think I...
Come on, quiet, man. That's the next thing. Okay? Just so you know, that play is called Panda. Yeah, because you know they call Eddie Kung Fu Panda. Okay. Right? So that's the Panda play.
All right.
All right, guys.